Good Shabbos, good Shabbos. I get Shabbos, good Shabbos.
So this week is Parshat Mikeitz. And at Parshat Mikeitz, the story of Yosef and his brothers unfolds. The brothers of Yosef come to Eretz Mitzrayim to buy food, just to survive the famine. Yosef recognizes them, but they do not recognize him. And Yosef demands, I want to see Binyamin. And they brokenheartedly go back to their father, to Yaakov Avinu, and they say, we cannot see the face of the monarch unless we bring Binyamin. And then Yaakov breaks out crying, and he says, V'yomer aleim Yaakov Avim, oisi shikaltem. Yosef eineno, Shimon eineno, ves Binyamin tikocho, olai hoyu kulono. Yaakov Avinu says, I don't understand. Yosef eineno, I lost Yosef. Shimon eineno, he's somewhere in Egypt. Ves Binyamin tikocho, olai hoyu kulono, the Vilna Gaon, in a spark of genius and Ruach HaKodesh. Says, Olai hoyo kolono. Olai is 3 letters. Where did we learn the same word in Sefer Bereshis? When Rivka tells Yaakov, many years before, dress up like Esav and pretend to be Esav. Tell your father Yitzchak that you are Esav. And Yaakov is afraid. And Yaakov says, Ula yemishani yovi v'hu yisi be'enov kemitatea v'heveisi alai klolo v'loi brocha. And what does the Mama Rivka say? Olai kileloscha bini. The Vilna Gaon says, Olai is Esav, Lavan, Yosef. Rivka tells Yaakov, one cannot escape his destiny. And I see Beruach HaKodesh that you will have 3 traumatic experiences. 3 huge challenges in your lifetime. Esav, Lavan, and Yosef. So many, many years later, after Yaakov marries Rachel and Leah and brings 12 children, 12 tribes, the fundament of the Jewish people, many years transpire. And when his sons come back from Eretz Mitzrayim demanding Binyamin, Yaakov says, I don't understand. Let me tell you, my dear children, many years ago, before you were ever born, Rivka sent me to achieve the brachas. And she promised me, Olai kileloscho b'ni. I already had these 3 terrible nisyonis. I survived Esav. I survived Lavan. I am mourning and crying every day because I lost Yosef. What else? What else? The Mama Rivka only spoke about 3 things. Esav, Lavan, Yosef. Olai kileloscho. And that is what Yaakov says. Olai hoyu kulono. I already prevailed these 3 terrible nisyonis that made life so difficult. In a very short while, it became obvious and evident that yes, Rivka was right, and this is not an other gezeira. This is a brocha. It's not a klola, but a blessing. And I want to add on to the Gaon's interpretation, and I feel this very strongly. In recent weeks and months, I explained many times that Yaakov Avinu, more than Avraham and Yitzchak, he paved the way for Klal Yisrael and Golas till the very last day. It is in the merit of Yaakov Avinu that we will be Zeiche to the Geula Shleima. It is the merit of his blessings that we had the Bayis Rishon and the Beis Mikdash Hasheni. And it is only Yaakov's koyach that will ensure that we make it to the finishing line, that we make it to Ketzei Yamin. It's not coincidence that Yaakov is Yisrael. We are Yisrael. We are Yaakov, and Yaakov is us. And Yisrael, the Zohar explains, is the first letter of all the Ovis and the Amois. Yud is Yitzchak and Yaakov, and Shin is Sora, and Reish is Rivka and Rochel, Aleph Avram, and the Lamed is Leah. all the koiches, b'shoirish nishmosam of the Ovis and the Amois, everything is in Yankov. And that is why Yankov is us, and we are Yankov. And Yankov is the one to pave the way and ensure that we'll make it, that we will fulfill our destiny. So these three challenges that Yankov endured, we do as well. And in every generation we have our Esav and our Lavan, and sadly, tragically, our Yosef. What is the difference between Esav and Lavan? Esav was a murderer. He was out to kill Yaakov, and he explicitly said so. Wasn't ashamed to say so. Yikrovu yemei evel ovi v'ahargo es Yaakov ochi. Lavan was different. Bikesh Lavan lakor es hakor, we say in the Haggadah. But we do not find that Lavan was out to kill Yaakov. He wasn't. But when Lavan says, why do you want to leave my home? We are one. We do not need to part. Habonam bonai, v'abonais benoisai. Yaakov understands that that is a mortal danger. Not a physical one, but a spiritual one. And Yaakov understands, no. Habonam einam bonecho. We could respect each other, but we must part. Every generation we have our Esav and our Lavan as well. Going back to ancient days, Haman was an Esav. Bikesh lahashmed lahareg ula'abed. Haman as what was out to annihilate the Jewish people. Physical destruction, murder, bloodshed. The Yevonim, and we are still in the midst of Hanukkah. The Yevonim weren't out to kill and to destroy. They could have destroyed the Beis HaMikdash, they didn't do so. Yud Gimel Pertzes Partzu, Bechomat HaSurag. And in other opportunities we explained what is the significance of 13 and why in this Soirag. We spoke about it in the past. We will not do so today. But the Gzeres Yevonim was not annihilation. It wasn't murder. So the Yevonim and the Mesyabnim were a more modern version of Lavan. Haman was a different version of Esav. And in modern history, in the days of our parents, Hitler was a modern version and the most dramatic and horrific version of Haman. Yes, he was out to destroy, to annihilate, to murder, to bring forth a final solution with cruelty the world has never seen before. We endured, we prevailed, and we also knew Stalin and the Bolsheviks. They were the modern version of the Yevonim, of Lavan. They were not out to totally annihilate the Jewish people. But yes, lashkichem terosecha ulahaviram mechukeretzenecha. Both are included. Shebachol doir v'doir oimdem aleinu lachaluseinu v'kodesh baruch hu matzileinu miyodam. And to our dismay, every generation and its Yosef. Olai hoyu kulonu. And Yosef is the curse of Sinas Achim. Not an external threat like Hitler or Stalin, the Nazis, the Bolsheviks, the Greeks, Haman, many years ago in Persia. This is an internal threat. Sinas Achim. Cherevish Bereyehu. Machloikis, which destroys everything we try to build. And my feeling is, throughout these generations, we learned somewhat how to cope with Esav and Lavan. Esav, letfileh ledorim v'lemelchama. We come together, we cry, we spill out our hearts to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we daven, v'HaKadosh Baruch Hu matzileinu miyodam. Lavan, we circle the wagons. We try to build moats around our communities. We try to teach Torah, to protect our children from unnecessary exposure. And in these modern days, to protect our children from exposure, which this modern technology is so dangerous. So we have somewhat tried, to a certain degree of success, to cope with Esav, to cope with Lavan. We've not been very successful in coping with Yosef, and we have so much to improve and so much to learn. Yehi Ratzon, we should be successful. So in these days, when we light the Ner Chanukah every night, and we remember the miracles, the unbelievable miracles, Nasatu Gebodim Biad Chaloshim, Rabbim Biad Me'atim. It was not only that they were victorious in the battlefield, in the war. Yes, Torah was saved, and we continued on teaching our children Torah. And from the days of Hanukkah on, there was an amazing, unbelievable flourishing of Torah. Those were the days of the great Chachmei HaMishnah. And we daven, we should be zoche to the same. Hu rachamon hu yasa lonu nisim v'neflois kishem shosisu lavoseinu b'yom ha'mehem uvezman hazeh bebias goel tzedek b'mheru v'yomeinu amen. Have a beautiful Shabbos, all of you.